That's what
I know for a fact a lot of people will expect me specifically to just be like, I'm a big lib and I hate this band. Like, unironically open the video with that clip.
Ooh, I could do that too. And I'll put text on screen as well, so that way it's a visual as well. Yeah.
I'm using my fake chords, you know?
I do want to talk about the music itself, and this relates to the music and the big part of it. If it was not, and you can answer this however you want, if this was not a band that had somewhat of a mask gimmick, somewhat of a lead singer that has very confrontational and problematic in some ways, do you think the band would still have the following based on their music alone?
No, absolutely not. I think that them being so controversial and so in your face and aggressive, like this image, this aesthetic, this identity, this entire brand, everything that Alex Terrible is, like, that is absolutely part of what has propelled them to the levels of mega fame that they're at. Like they're headlining big festivals and shows over legendary heavy metal, death metal, extreme metal bands, and doing big stadium tours, and the streaming numbers are through the roof. Like, they have more followers and monthly listeners across all social media and streaming platforms than Suicide Silence and Whitechapel and the OGs of the genre that they exist in. They rival their contemporaries. Like, Lorna Shore does not have as many monthly followers and listeners as Slaughter To Prevail, despite the fact that Lorna Shore musically is probably a lot more influential right now on deathcore music. I don't doubt that there would still be a following, because there's always going to be a demand for music that is just oppressive and angry and loud. But I do not think that they would be the megastars now. I don't think they would be the same people, the same level of famous that they are now, if it wasn't for the gimmicks and the controversy.
And this revolves back to the original question I had last night and posed to you. The music feels secondary. Do you think it's ever going to get to a situation where the shenanigans of Alex Terrible and controversy surrounding Slaughter To Prevail, whether it's drum tech accusations, neo-Nazi accusations, live stage and backstage mannerisms, whatever it might be, do you ever think the music will get back to a point, or get to any point, where that will take front center for the attention of Slaughter To Prevail? Or this will always be the band that's known for other things?
Can happen. It's not impossible, but it's going to require distance, and it's going to require Slaughter To Prevail to, like, really commit to the music.
Okay.
Now, mind you, when it comes to the actual music itself, everything is subjective. I don't know. If you love the album, good for you. Maybe this is exactly what you want and what you're looking for. That's fine. That's great. But I mean, bottom line, this is one of those bands where it's just difficult to talk about them in any capacity without talking about who they are. Like, you can only separate the art from the artist so far. Yes. Like, as I mentioned before, the controversies and the artistic identity of the band are all a byproduct of the same thing. And therefore, for me, it's a little difficult to just separate them as if they don't exist.
Have you seen the separate the art from the artist argument a lot for Slaughter To Prevail so far?
Absolutely. A lot of people listened to me very thoroughly explain the thing I just told you, very thoroughly explain my argument and go, okay, got it. You hate him because political. You hate him because you're woke, because you're gay, because you're a Canadian liberal leftist. And, you know, you just need to separate the art from the artist. And I there's nothing I can say to these people to convince them that that's not what I said. They heard my very carefully, thoroughly explained argument and went, "Oh, I got it. It's because you're a lib." Yes. Like, that's it. That's what they've made their mind. What
I love with the audiences like this, Slaughter To Prevail is not the only band that has audience and fan bases like this. It's not even so much that they want to hear your arguments. They want to go against you because you dare have a differing opinion of the band itself, not even the music. And if they don't like the music, then God may have mercy on your soul. That's how I see it too. So
by comparison, Banger TV had a much more positive review than mine.
Okay.
and they got absolutely massacred by Slaughter To Prevail fans, and the comments were flooded with, like, to my knowledge, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, just a lot of like really hateful, ugly comments. Now, mind you, there were also a lot of people who hate Slaughter To Prevail also coming in, saying a lot of fucked up stuff, like, how dare you, like, this is insane, you're fucking whatever, you're this, you're that. And that certainly doesn't help. It just creates a continuous cycle of like just volatile, stupid behavior.
It does.
But the point is, there's really nothing. I could have given this album a 5 out of 5, and I think it still would have generated some kind of controversy and some kind of backlash, and I think somebody still would have yelled at me for being a lib. So it's like, whatever. This is just the cycle that exists. This is the age we live in. Everything is political, except nobody wants to acknowledge it.
Yes.
People want to bury their heads in the sand and pretend that nothing matters, and I don't want to do that. So
I agree with a lot of the points you just said, and I'm also glad you brought that up too. Even the people that were against Slaughter To Prevail are filling comments on many videos as well, and on social media saying why they hate it. Again, it's not even about the music though. It's about the takes on the band. And at the same time, if you have a point to make, that's valid. When the arguments are, yeah, well, you're a lib. Yeah, well, you're ugly. You know, that's what it's getting down to really. There's no one's winning with this. Mm-hmm. No one's making a statement. And that's, I mean, YouTube's been that way for over a decade now, 2 decades. And that sucks. Slaughter To Prevail's not helping. And I don't know if you saw the drummer's statement and the band's reaction this past week to the drum test.
I have not seen that, actually. Okay. You're breaking news to me.
Okay, so they made the response this week to the drum tech accusations of all the terrible things, and they put it on their post. It looks like it came from management, but it was definitely posted on Slaughter To Prevail's like main things. Their defense was they listed out all the things that were actively false, according to them, being based off defense from the accusations from the drum tech, which makes sense. But then it also got really petty and ugly because it tries to be professional and fails miserably. And that's a big problem with that too. So I'm going to read you an excerpt right now, just so that way, again, it's like 4 or 5 posts and pages.
Oh my God.
Yes. Okay.
You weren't kidding.
No, it's like, it's as long as the original post. And this is why I feel it wasn't just the band. This was management stepping in, and there's a lot of hurt feelings. That makes it worse. Page 3 of this long response from Slaughter To Prevail. And to anyone watching, I'll link to both the original statement and the defense in the comments. Page 3, paragraph 5. I can't believe I have to explain it that way. We also want people to know that we had warnings about this person before the tour, Mr. Finch, the drum tech. We gave them a chance and stayed quiet. We never shared any of their past or present behavior public, even when we had reason to, but now that line has been crossed. Another crew member close to this individual was also not asked to return because of poor work. This right here is the high school cafeteria he said, she said crap that I can't stand. You want to make a defense about all the things he said? Fine. What in the world is this garbage?
This is not going to help them at all. And I'm looking through the rest of this, and it really is just like the entire statement can be summed up as how dare you.
Yes.
Like that's how I feel reading through this whole thing. How dare you speak ill of us?
Who I am to judge? God? Nope.
How dare you say that we were unprofessional? And then just projection, like actually you're the one who's unprofessional, you're the one who fucked up. It just feels really, really petty and childish. I don't even really know what to say. Like, I don't know. Like,
it's hard to take in. That's how I was when I saw it too, because I'm not going to say Finch's argument, like accusations were not petty. Also, they absolutely were. There's a lot of petty stuff in that. But if he has proof and he was able to lay things out, there's statements in there that make sense and why he was frustrated. The exact
this all lines up.
Yeah, this all lines up perfectly.
Sorry, continue.
This all lines up perfectly with his response. They almost reacted to it with defense of all the things he said and then got equally as petty and angry. So this is just like the perfect blend of what's going on. And that's what sucks, because that's going to make everyone look worse.
This also lines up with what I was kind of saying earlier. The band values being tough and big and macho and unapologetic over everything else. Like that is more important to them than anything else. Like they could easily have just said like, oh man, like, I don't know. There's never really a great way to respond to these kinds of like inner workings and conflicts. But like, I feel like almost anything else could have been better.
I feel like this could have taken a hatchet and cut out 3 pages of this and probably would have been better at least. But something like this makes it much, much worse.
Like the fucking former vice president just put out a statement about her future in politics that was shorter than this. Yes. What are we talking about? And this is how this is being presented. Like it like this massive statement that you like. I don't know, man. Like it just seems insane to me. Like this is such a very petty, immature thing even by their standards.
Yes, and it ends, I don't know if you saw, there will be no further statements, but we'll happily see this through court if he wants to continue. Slaughter to Prevail. So pretty much saying, go ahead and sue us.
Damn.
I don't. That's not a way.
They've been spending more and more time with Ronnie Radke. His influence is rubbing off.
I hope they have a better win-loss record than Ronnie Radke in courts, because man, that's a rough route you want to go. This makes things so much worse. And coming from like the business and analytic mind, why in the world would you end that after someone's accusing you of treating you poorly and not paying you well?
If I were Slaughter to Prevail's PR guy right now, I'd be freaking the fuck out. Yeah. I'd be sitting there at my desk just like, oh my God, how do I spin this? Yeah. What do I do?
And again, I am not saying I'm in Finch's corner completely. Again, there was a lot of petty stuff. I don't know if you read through Petty's original statement. It ranges all the way to, I got pizza for everyone and was not reimbursed on a day off, little things like that. And
it very much reads as a disgruntled, overreacting employee to some level.
Yes.
I definitely feel there's some validity to his claims. But there's definitely parts of it where I'm like, I don't give a shit that you bought pizza for the crew. Like I don't that doesn't matter.
Like the part about when you asked for payment and they said, go get lost. If that really happened, and like, that's a serious issue. That's something you want to bring up. I do not care if you're having issues because you got pizza on a day off for every one of your friends. Pick and choose what battles you have. So this is a lot of over emotional stuff.
Like,
go ahead.
It's like offering to buy a round of drinks for your friends at the bar, and then the next day you're like, "Whoa, you guys didn't reimburse me."
Yes,
you know, you keep how come I paid for that round of drinks? Okay, what the fuck?
I don't know. And again, this is just the July 2025 controversy. There's been so many other things worse, in fact, for accusations for the band themselves. And at the beginning of the statement for the drum tech, they said that this is not regarded towards the band members. But then when you have the band making this statement and signing it Slaughter to Prevail, that makes a bigger statement in itself.
Yeah, I mean, it's on their social media. It's signed by them. And even, it's their management, it's their agents, their PR guys constructing all this shit together. Like, they're all a team and they're all doing this together. Like, at a certain point, even if Alex himself didn't personally write every single word, this is still very much an official statement from Slaughter to Prevail.
Yes.
So, I mean, there you go. And if this is something that does go to court, this would be submitted into the court records. So yes. I hope you're feeling very confident in that, Slaughter to Prevail.
I can't imagine how miserable the judge is going to be in that situation if it gets to that point either. Just having to deal with this band, he said, she said crap when there's actual litigation and other issues going on. That's the stuff that drives me crazy.
This kind of like, at a certain point, you have to actually appeal to people. You have to actually give them something that they want to hear and that they want to give money to. So I would be very careful about indulging fully in this kind of attitude if I were Slaughter to Prevail.
Yes, and that's my follow-up question now. It goes back to the original question. Is the music second for Slaughter to Prevail? What would you do next? There's always a next step, a next event, a next thing. The album just came out. They're going to be performing at festivals, so they are doing their business, their work. But I just can't imagine this is the last controversial thing Slaughter to Prevail is going to be caught in or be a part of. How would you go about handling this next when you know you're getting attention for your bloody bare knuckle fist fighting, when you know you're wrestling a bear and your audience is eating it up, and then you get accusations like this and you brush it back? Is there ever going to be a situation where they're going to go too far? Because that's how I see it. Something's going to happen where they say it keeps amplifying. It keeps increasing. I don't know what it's going to be, but I feel like we're going to find out eventually.
I don't know if there's any particular thing that could really hurt them at this point. if I'm Slaughter To Prevail, if I'm in this band and I have the mindset that they have, then all this controversy, the negative comments, this whole thing with the drum tech, this just kind of feeds me. This sustains me. So I'm just going to keep doing what I do.
Right.
Yeah, like, I don't see how this stops them. And in this day and age, like, you know, it just, this kind of stuff just doesn't matter. Like, to be entirely blunt, like, not to sound like a bit of an asshole or a nihilist, but like, this kind of stuff just doesn't matter to large swaths of people anymore. No. Like Kid Rock, Ronnie Radke, Tom McDonald can say and do outrageous things, and the audience eats it up, and they're fine with it. And that just is what it is. It would have to be something monumental that also goes against the brand. Okay. Like something that utterly betrays who Slaughter To Prevail is. There would have to be a moment of weakness, of vulnerability, that is also a giant scandal that would prevent normal people from wanting to come in.
That's well said. I think that last point really seals it. It has to be something against Slaughter To Prevail, the identity, not so much in line with their identity, because the accusations that have happened in the past, even tour shenanigans, that could still fall in line very well with Slaughter To Prevail and their identity of a band, of being the brotastic. I don't know. Would you call them a Monster Energy band? That was always the old joke, a Monster Energy band. But at the same time,
I don't know what I'd call them.
Yeah, but
I've heard some interesting ones. Some people, I've seen some people in the Metal Meltdown comment section call them Manosphere core.
Be yourself and try to push your fucking views and all this shit, and maybe people will share it, and maybe after years you will change your mind or some shit. But it's normal, you know. And I think America losing that,
which I think is awesome. Yeah. I think that's very funny.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. There were a few others, but the Manosphere core one is what I really like.
It definitely is like the very stereotypical crowd, rile up the pit, get the wall of death, go through the motions, roar, roar, roar. And this is coming from someone, again, I have not heard every Slaughter To Prevail album. I haven't even heard the new one. It definitely falls the tropes of what they're doing. And that's why, again, I say this is gimmick first. This is attitude first. This is even controversy first. Music second. Like 2025, where there have been a lot of great albums, great music and heavy music, great stuff come out. We have Slaughter To Prevail getting a lot of attention for everything but music. And I think that sucks.
It does. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for people who actually like the band and want to listen to the music and want to support what they do. And it's also just bad for the metal culture and music culture in general. You know, I promise you, I don't want to be sitting here talking about, like, are they a Nazi? Are they problematic?
Yeah, it sucks, doesn't it? Yeah,
you know,
no one wants
I agree. I agree. Like, oh, I don't want to talk about, you know, these Slaughter To Prevail fans. Like, I don't want to talk about that. I really don't either. But at a certain point, something's have to be.
Something's have to be brought up. They have to. And this is my opinion, because I asked this before. The more you say separate the art from the artist, the more you're just pointing out to everyone that you know what the problems are and you don't care.
Yeah, like we're not talking, you know, we're not talking about some guy who's just like kind of weird and kind of sketchy. Like, there's valid reason to be to suspect things of Mr. Terrible and Slaughter To Prevail at this point. And I think at a certain point, in the controversies, the rhetoric, the behavior, the artistic identity, they're all byproducts of the same thing. And for that reason, it's difficult to separate the art from the artist because they're intertwined. Yes. Like, you just can't. To separate the art from the artist is it's to separate I don't know, peanut butter from jelly. Like, it's like, I don't know, you can't do it. It's to separate chicken from waffles. Yes. And I will say also, side note, there are a lot of people that say you have to separate the art from the artist no matter what. And a lot of these people will be very quick to go, oh, I won't listen to that band because they're woke.
Yes.
I won't listen to that band because they're too progressive.
Green Day got political. I can't listen to them anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, like, practice what you preach, motherfucker. Like, it's either separate the art from the artist no matter what, or it's not. You can't have it both ways.
Okay. I want to end on more of a positive note, just so that way we have something like to make something nicer. What are some of the albums you listened to this year that you have loved? I know you love Death Heaven. That's one of your tops this year. That's one of mine too. As of right now, that's my number one this year for Lonely People with Power. I don't know. You don't have to list off your favorites in order or anything like that. what are some of the albums you loved this year that you want to share with everybody? And I can link to them too if you have reviews of them, but I just want to get some positivity and wrap this up so that way we're not just trying to crap on something and leave it at that.
I think that's an excellent idea. Death Heaven and Imperial Triumphant, the new albums from both of them, both got 5 out of 5s on the Metal Meltdown. I love those albums. They're amazing. The most recent album from Havukrunu as well, like epic kind of like pagan melodic black metal, but like more fun. It's got a little bit more spirit, more pep in its step than your standard kind of black metal record. It's got a more adventurous kind of vibe. The new Halo Effect, like old school Swedish mellow death with members of Dark Tranquillity and In Flames. New Witch Hazel, actually, like a very cool kind of like Christian metal, heavy metal kind of record. Like I genuinely kind of really like the vibe and the feel of that album. It really caught me off guard. I've been listening to a lot of hip hop lately as well. Like the new Clipping album is great. The new Clips as well, although maybe not a 10. Sorry, Anthony. Really loving the new Backwash. Shout out to Backwash. God, lots of great. Honestly, lots of. Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist, Alfredo 2. That's been on repeat for me consistently lately. I love the organic, rich production and that kind of like warm, soulful tone of the guitars and drums and horns, combined with Freddie's very like poetic lyrics.
Very cool. For me, I like you already talked about Death Heaven as well. I did enjoy Scowl's latest album, which is more of the punk flair. They kind of verge between punk and hardcore a little bit. I really enjoyed that. Shadow of Intent released a great album that I've come back to more than I thought I would. And it was like, yes. I gave it an 8 out of 10 originally. I've come back to it more. I think I've increased a little bit from that because, man, just the way it was made, the production, the guitars alone, really worth your attention and time. They
really are like the kings of like this symphonic deathcore thing. Like they're so good. They mastered it. They
should get more credit for this album, Empyrean Delirium. That's one of my favorites that they've done in a long time as well. I don't know if it's my favorite, but man, I keep coming back to it now more than I have several albums from them. Also, Spirit Box, caught me by surprise. I did really enjoy the new Spirit Box album because it was heavier in just how it was made. So
there's a lot of good moments on that Spirit Box record. I like seeing the band. I like that they're like actually kind of a big deal too. Like they've been doing the late night shows and doing bigger and bigger festivals and stuff. Like I don't love everything they've done, but I'm really happy for them. It's nice to see like a genuinely talented, like good group of people like actually getting some respect.
Yeah. They've earned their spot. I think they've definitely earned what they have. So that being said, I appreciate the time on this too. I'm going to chop it all up and then like present it like with visuals and things like that as well. Anything you want to send out, like how people can find you, if you want to add that right now, just go for it.
Yeah, in case you didn't know who I am, I'm Uncle Melty from the Metal Meltdown. We review music and we get drunk and do live streams and interview famous people sometimes. You can find me on the Metal Meltdown on YouTube, at the Metal Meltdown on all social media as well, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, yada, yada, yada. Join us on the Metal Meltdown Discord for more stupid nonsense and shenanigans. And yeah, if you don't mind getting a little woke and political now and then, come on and say hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to